Hi, I'm your friendly neighborhood dog trainer, Erwin Valderamos with Paws Hand Effect. I'm going to be working with a Malinois named Diesel. Diesel is in our board and train program, and this is the very first time that I'm bringing him out on the training leash and collar. Up until this point, we've been doing a lot of yard work with a technique that I call the good word. I have a YouTube video about it that will enlighten you if you don't know what that is. It's a very important aspect of dog training. So up until this point, I've been acting with him, behaving with him the way most people treat their dogs, kind of disengaged. So you notice here I started to lower my left shoulder blade a little bit, and as he's walking around me, I'm starting to rotate in a clockwise direction. This rotation is very, very important for a variety of reasons. It's going to make the dog more interested in you because you're making a turn that he's not used to you making. In fact, it's making him very excited here. So think of this kind of like teaching somebody how to dance. I'm trying to stay clean here, but he's intent on dirty dancing with me, and this is part of the problem. At this point, and for the rest of the training session, I'm not going to take my eyes off of him if possible. I'm going to ignore other outside stimulation as I rotate clockwise, and I'm looking for an opportunity to give him a quick little snap like I did there on the leash. So see, that got his attention. Now as he comes up to me, because he didn't jump, I'm going to pet him under the chin, and I'm going to wipe his eyes. I'm going to do something that makes him understand that there's affection here, and that I'm not trying to intimidate him or boss him around needlessly, that I'm trying to teach him something that is going to be very beneficial to the survival of our family, which he considers our pack. So dogs will listen to you if they have faith in what you're saying. If you're needlessly giving your dog a whole bunch of commands, he's going to think you cry wolf often and not see the purpose. It's easy to teach a dog to sit. It's much more difficult to make them understand there's a reason for it. So we try to teach a dog to have faith that you understand the situation better than they do. Believe it or not, a lot of the reason that he's jumping is because every time I do say the word good, it excites him so much that he can't contain himself. But he needs to learn to be calm in these and other situations. Otherwise, he'll never be able to just stand there and be pet because he's going to go crazy. Also, focus on keeping my pants up, which is very important. Up until this point, I've been using avoidance. I've been putting my elbow in his way so he can't touch me. But now I'm going to apply pressure up towards my left shoulder blade. He's going to resist this, and this is going to cause him to sit. So I'm going to step away from him. Then I'm going to step into him with my left foot very dramatically as I apply pressure, and I keep my gaze on him. So he's going to buck it a little bit, but eventually he's going to get it. I'm going to apply constant soft pressure. The moment he puts his butt on the ground, I'm going to let that pressure go, which is going to cause him to stand up for now. So there, he stayed sat. I'm going to relinquish the pressure that I have as I pet him. So you notice there that he's starting to get good about staying calm when I touch him. As soon as I stop touching him now is when he's jumping. So again, I'm going to start with that pressure, and I'm going to pet him. Speaking of which, I'm going to make a mistake here as I pet him, so watch and see if you can find it. Well, you see it? The mistake is I continued to pet him as he looked away. So one of the most important guidelines to follow when you're training your dog is to raise the value of your praise. One of the most effective ways of doing this is by petting them and stroking them as long as they continue to be engaged with you. I like to pet a dog under the chin so it naturally encourages them to look me in the eyes. I don't believe in petting a dog on top of the head or in any fashion that restricts their view of your eyes. Otherwise, you're teaching them not to look at you when you talk to them. See, that time I did what I was supposed to do and I stopped petting him, going back to my rotation. This time I'm going to be using snaps on that leash and training collar every time he hops up at me. So my tolerance for these behaviors is starting to lower as the expectations that I have for him start to grow. Good sit. Now the entire time here I'm praising, I'm saying the word good, I'm chanting the word good, and I'm continuing the affection. And this dog not only is food motivated, ball motivated, toy motivated, he's praise motivated as well. But part of this is because he's gotten accustomed to us giving him affection and acknowledgement only when he does those behaviors that we like. And believe it or not, up until this point, we've been ignoring a whole bunch of bad, annoying behavior that he displays. So patience is important when you're training a dog. You're not going to be able to solve every problem immediately. And you see here, he's starting to pick up very well to the point where he's sitting even before I stop, like anticipating it, and I'm going to pet him. I'm also going to start asking him to stay and acknowledging him for not breaking or moving. Remember, one of the most important things to keep in mind when you're training a dog is to acknowledge inaction. Inaction is a choice unto itself. A lot of times you're probably making the mistake with your dog that the only time they get your attention is when they're being mischievous or doing bad. So they've learned to associate all attention with good attention. And I'll go as far as to say that most of you out there's dogs don't understand what negative attention really is. So telling your dog no or shh or or whatever it is you want to say has no effect other than seeming like a weird reward coming from their owner. So if you noticed, at the beginning of this video, whenever Diesel would walk up to me and not jump, I would pet him. Then I stopped doing that, and I started only petting him when he sat down, which caused him to jump whenever I stopped petting him. Now I'm doing something completely different. I'm applying pressure, and I'm holding off. I'm making him wait for the reward. Very, very important. See, it's going to make him jump right here because he's frustrated. Like, hey, buddy, I held my end up with a bargain. I sat for you, and you didn't reward me. So this is going to teach him to be more patient with you and the value of delayed gratification. So I'm going to pet him here up until the point that I think he can't stand it anymore and wants to move. And right before then, I'm going to pat my left leg and start to walk. I'm going to stop quickly because I knew he was impatient, and I'm going to place him back into a sit. So I did that just to kind of let some of that nervous energy out. So watch how I'm going to teach him to stay at my left. As he comes to the right, I'm going to snap and I'm going to turn left quickly. I'm going to pat my left leg every so often. Because he didn't pay any attention to it, I gave him a little snap and I rotated clockwise. So see, that time as I pat my leg, he paid attention. I'm going to also make left turns whenever I think I can cut him off. When I come to a stop, I'm going to apply pressure and ask him to sit. Notice I'm nodding my head. I'm going to clap my hands because he's staying put. I'm going to tell him to stay. I'm going to step away from him very, very briefly. And I'm going to step one step back before stepping in with him at my left-hand side. And I'm going to reward him for not getting up. And here he loves the affection so much, he's about to fall over and get goofy on me. So once he does that, I'm going to stop petting him. And then I'm going to go back into my heel. I'm going to snap because he's jumping. And I'm going to rotate again. And as I bring him around, I'm going to come to a stop. Very little pressure is going to be needed this time. He's going to fall right into the sit. Then this is a good stopping point for his very first training session. You notice that I clap my hands again to make him understand I'm very, very excited. I'm touching his teeth. I'm doing all types of things to bond with him. If you need help training your dog, please give us a call, text message, or a message here on YouTube or Facebook. Thanks, and please like and share.